Hi everyone, and welcome to today's General Hospital Recap. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. Going up a little later today because I was a little late coming home, but let's get right to it, because huge day on General Hospital. At the Haunted Star, Dylan is not happy that Lulu told Maxie to audition for his movie, and he'll have her audition though because there's nothing left to lose. And she auditions, and Lulu is watching them read it through, and I don't think she's too happy because I think both Dylan and Lulu are super surprised by how amazing Maxie is. So is Lulu upset that Maxie was so perfect and so perfect for the role? I think so. And Dylan tells her that the role is hers if she wants it, and Lulu kind of wants to break up the love fest, and she's like, well, you have to work together every day, and you know, if you get on each other's nerves, you can't just leave. And then they do this little bit about recasts, and Maxie mentions that how sometimes someone gets recast for a year, but they want the old actress back, and then Lulu brings up how sometimes recasts work great, so I thought that was pretty funny. And he gives the part to Maxie, and Lulu isn't happy, even though she's really pretending to be. At Sunny's place, Sunny's fine letting Morgan be, but Carly isn't comfortable letting Morgan's health hinge on Kiki and him being together, and Carly's worried that Kiki will find out that Morgan cheated, and she has a feeling that this is all going to blow up like really soon. And then TJ comes in and tells them that the cops are in Rick's office, and Molly thinks her dad had something to do with Silas's murder. And then Sunny goes over to the police station to find out what's going on. At Silas's place, the scene we were all waiting for, Morgan goes in for a hug and Kiki turns away. She tells him she's upset because she's in the apartment for the first time since her dad was murdered, and he wants to take her out of there so she can stay with him, but she doesn't want to go. And she talks about how this is where he talked her into being with him again, and she says too bad it was based on one big lie. And she tells him she knows he slept with Ava/Denise. She confronts him. He looks her in the eye and lies. He asks her where she heard it from. She says a jail cell, and he goes, well, Ava's a liar and she promised not to say anything to you. And she says, yeah, Franco told me, and now so did you. She lays into him, and he tries to blame it on Ava for lying to him about who she was. And she throws him out, and she says she never wants to see him again. And he says that Kiki means the world to him, and Ava means nothing to him. She still wants him out. He's begging her to give him another chance, but finally she gets him out of her apartment. Good riddance, Morgan. At the police station, Jordan wants this plan to work so that they can get in good enough with the public so that Lomax will be forced to back off. They show Nathan and Dante talking to Rick about the document, and he says he never saw that page or the signature before, and Rick turned on Madeline almost immediately as soon as he realized he could go down for murder because of her. So he says he had no idea that Silas had a claim on her money, and before or after the marriage. Like, he didn't know Silas would have to be involved in this whole money scheme at all. And Rick has to get Madeline to admit to the murder or he'll go down for it. So the signatures are on the log, and the log to go into the room. Oh shoot. Silas's signatures going into the building log and the paper don't match exactly, but then Nathan pulls out the forged signature on the prescription thing from the dead pharmacist that Madeline forged, and that fits the document that they're questioning Rick on. So they're relying on Rick to get a confession, and then Sunny stops over and Jordan clears it all up for him and lets him know that Rick is cooperating with him and he isn't being arrested for murder. At the court, Rick asks Madeline how she got Silas to sign the paper. And now, flashback, she went to Silas to have him sign the paper, and it was signed the day that he was murdered. Go figure. So this is the alleged missing document that Silas signed, and Silas needs to secede his claim to Nina's inheritance. So flashback. Silas questioned the document. He figured out that Rick was involved with Madeline, and he says to her that Franco was right and they were playing Nina for her money. And then Silas wants to call Nina to tell her what's going on, and Madeline tells him that Nina committed herself to Shady Brook, and he knows about the crying hallucinations, like with the baby, and he won't sign it, and he doesn't agree that Nina is sick. because Madeline's whole thing is, you need to sign this because Nina's sick and this is the only way that we can take care of her. So Madeline made the mistake of telling Silas that Nina kidnapped Avery Jerome's baby from the hospital, and Silas tells her that he took Avery. So Rick asks/accuses Madeline of killing Silas. She thought she was going to have leverage over him by holding the kidnapping thing, but then Silas says that he was going to turn himself in anyway, so she realizes she doesn't have leverage with that. And then she stabbed him. Oh, so because Silas is sarcastic and we love him, he said that she can have his signature over his dead body. And then she picks up the knife, goes towards him, stabs him, and says that he won't be around to contradict the forged signature this time. So Rick tells her that he has an alibi, but she doesn't. So Rick pushes her because he says they'll reopen everything and connect her, and he can throw the investigation off, but only if she tells him exactly what she did, so that, you know, he can be informed. And she confesses to the murder. Madeline, and like she goes on, Madeline hid when she heard Nina. She heard Franco clean it up, and she slipped out. And then he unbuttons his shirt and shows. Oh, then Rick unbuttons his shirt and shows her that he was wearing a wire. And I'm like, why'd you do that? Just walk away. But then Madeline attacks Rick to try to get the wire away from him, and Nathan and Dante rush in, and Nathan arrests her because she's like, Nathan, you'll never guess what this horrible guy just made me say. And Nathan's like, yeah, you're arrested for the murder of Silas Clay. So, alright, that is it for today's General Hospital recap. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you tomorrow for more General Hospital, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.